So you should have tried this question. It was actually deceptively difficult. It wasn't meant to be a straightforward question. So if you still haven't done it, listen to my clue and then keep trying it without checking my answer. My clue to you is you're going to use half AB sine C, and then you're going to use the cosine rule as well to work out the missing lengths and the missing areas. If that's enough to get you to try it, great. Otherwise, if you have done the question, I'm going to show you the answers and I'll work through it with you. So now I'm going to show you the answers of volume. We know that to find the volume of a prism, you need the cross-sectional area, and then we're going to multiply it by 9. Now, to work out the area of this shape, like I said, you can't use half times base times height because we don't have the perpendicular height. So instead, we have a triangle with a 4, a 2, and an angle in between. So we're going to use half AB sine C, and in this case it's half times 4 times 2 times sine 67. On your calculator, that will give you 0.5 times 8, that's just 4, times sine 67. And it gives you 3.682, and then you multiply it by 9 because you've got the cross-sectional area times 9 times 9, and then you get 33.13. So 33.13. That is your answer for your volume. Now we need to work out the surface area. This is going to be a little bit longer, but I'll summarize it for you briefly. To work out surface area, this side is easy because it's just 2 times 9. The other side that we can't see behind here, so that slope, which is behind here, is going to be 9 times 4. And then the area of this we already have because that's from part 1. No, that's going to be 3.62. And you multiply that by 2 till you have the front and the back. Then the tricky part here is we need to work out this base length. So that we can do that base length times 9. And then that will give us the length of that bottom part of the triangle. And to do that, you use the cosine rule. So we can say, in this case, I'm going to make this my A, and then this my B, and then my C. So I have A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. And then in this case, it becomes 4 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 4 times 2 times cos 67. Put that in your calculator. We have 4 squared plus 2 squared equals, and then you do minus and then brackets. So 2 times 4 times 2, which is going to be 16 cos 67, close brackets. And that gives you 13.7. Now what we've just worked out is A squared. So remember, we need to square root that. So let's square root answer. So 3.708 or 3.7078. We didn't want to round it too much, otherwise our answer will be off. So 3.7078. And then the rest of the working out I actually have on the screen here, so I'm not going to write it all out. So the front and rear is, that's the 2 triangles. And then you have the front face, the back face, and don't forget the base length, which we just worked out, which was 3.7 something times 9. Add it all together and you should get 94.73 centimeters squared. Okay, now cylinders. We're going to look at cylinders. Now it's just a continuation of prisms. So a cylinder is just a circular prism. The volume is very straightforward because the cross-sectional area happens to be a circle. So pi r squared times height. And then if you want to work out the curved surface area, so this bit, if you kind of imagine unrolling that, you can work that out by doing 2 pi RH and the total surface area. Now, this is what people forget often, is this 2 pi r times height will give you this kind of shaded part, all of the area of around the cylinder. But then the total surface area, you have to add pi r squared times 2, because you need the surface area, you need to add the top and the bottom as well. So those are the formulas that you need to know. Try using both of those for these two questions. Very straightforward. Question 2, you're going to have some algebra involved. Okay, so going through the answers, you have a nice and easy one, which is 982 and 245. Now, you can be asked to leave your answer in terms of pi or to 2 decimal places, much like when we're doing surds. They can say, give an exact answer, which is that, or round your answer. So you just need to read the question carefully. If it doesn't say what to do, then you give both answers. Now, in terms of volume for this one, it's going to be 45 pi x cubed. Common mistake with pi r squared. For example, in this case, the radius is 3x, so pi times 3x squared. People will turn this into pi times 9x squared, which is wrong. Yeah, wait, that is right, sorry. People turn this into 3x squared. That's wrong. You have to remember to square the 3, so it should be, if I write it in order, it'll be 9 pi x squared. And in this case, you multiply it by 5x. And in the surface area, you can see the working out there. Now, we have covered cuboids, prisms, and cylinders. We've done surface area for each and volume for each. In the next video, we'll be continuing along this route. For now, can you only complete exercise 1? Now, there's the couple of questions here which require some specific knowledge I haven't covered in depth yet. So density is mass divided by volume. You're going to need that for question 5. And then for another one of the questions, remember that 1 hour and 20 minutes is not 1.2 hours. Silly mistake that. 1 hour and 20 minutes is 1 1/3 of an hour. So just remember that. That will come in handy for one of the questions, which I'm not going to tell you which one. You can work that out. So try exercise 1 and then come back to this playlist and then continue. See you in the next video.